yesterday I kind of started getting into a funk. And there's not really one particular reason why. I don't know why. But part of it was that I was supposed to be at the lake. That's what the plans were. But the weather pushed me back so far that I got to the lake on Friday, and then I don't know what I was thinking, even wasting my time. But there was no spots at the lake. Go figure on a Friday. And I ended up spending the night in a parking lot, which was like a staging parking lot for side by sides and dirt bikes and quads and stuff like that. And I woke up this morning to just, I don't know, 200 people, just a ton of people. It must have been like a big group meeting up to go for a run on their side by sides. And it didn't help. I had a headache. I just wasn't feeling it today. And I'm kind of a people watcher. So, of course, I'm kind of sitting there enjoying my coffee and looking out the window and hear these people having fun. And the first thought that crossed my mind was, how come I can't be having fun right now? Like, why am I in a funk? And then it clicked. We're all faking it. We are. Like, it's not socially acceptable to say you're anything but fine. And I know this because I have no problems sharing my feelings with people. And I guarantee I've put people in some awkward situations because they weren't expecting me to actually tell them how I feel. They were just expecting me to say, I'm fine. Um, but I guarantee a good chunk of those people were just like superficially happy. Like, they bought a side by side and they're hanging out with people that have similar interests and stuff like that. And they all want to show up and pretend like their life's all together, even though chances are their life's a complete train wreck, falling off the rails, just barely held together. But then they show up and they put on this goofy smiley face and crank up songs on their radios and they just pretend like everything's good. And I think a lot of people mistake that as kind of the same thing. Like, why are these people out having fun and I'm not? But the thing is, like I said, we're all faking it. We all are. I do at times. A lot less than I used to, but I still do at times. I mean, of course, I'm not going to go up to a complete stranger and tell them my problems, but I don't know. Anyways, that's kind of the topic of this video. We'll talk about it off and on, but for right now, let's get camp set up. I'm ready for a fire.
Hey, but what are you doing, huh? This is Mason, if you don't know already. He's a long-haired Chihuahua. He's just hanging out, enjoying the sunshine. It's nice right now, but it's going to get cold here in another hour or so. Huh. Yeah. So the other day I went and checked my mail, my P.O. box, and I was totally shocked. It was just chock full of packages. You guys, just too much. I mean, you sent all sorts of stuff for Christmas, cards and gifts, and I'm so appreciative of it, guys. Like, you don't, it's just awesome that there are just good people out there that are willing to spend their money, their hardworking money to help support this channel, and I'm just so grateful for it. James sent this Ned Foss hatchet. The hatchet that I had before was just like a Walmart cheap $15 hatchet. And I mean, it worked after I put a good sharp edge on it, but I was having to sharpen it every single time after I'd use it. I don't have any kindling, so I'm gonna have to make some kindling. So I'm slicing this wood into strips like this because we're gonna try starting a fire with flint and steel tonight. I've always taken an interest in bushcraft. I just don't practice it. Not since I was like in Boy Scouts. But I'm making these slivers of wood so I can get it to light with a spark. Ken, one of the subscribers, sent this Zippo Mag Strike flint and steel. He also sent some Black Rifle coffee, which we'll try out in the morning. I've never tried that stuff. So we're going to see if we can get that fire lit with that tonight. But first, I just got to get a bunch of these strips of wood ready to burn. There's probably better ways, but when I was in Boy Scouts, I learned that dryer lint is pretty flammable. I want to make sure this lights on the first take, so we're going to use a bunch of it. And then what I have here, I have this like little nest where I have everything at. The sparks should light that up, and then once that's lit, I'll put this shaped wood on top of it. Let's see what we got here. There we go. Come on, baby. Hopefully that lights enough to... I can't do that. Hopefully that lights enough. And that just packs away real nice. Look at that. That's nice. I like that. Thank you, Ken. I thought this thing didn't have a battery in it, so I bought a new battery. I'm wondering if that one's just dead. We'll switch it out anyways. The generator itself has been working actually really good, other than that first night. But I've had to pull start it, which isn't a huge deal, but one of these batteries are only 20 bucks. So I'd rather have a battery. Okay. Slides back in there. Pick that back up. Let's see if it starts. Oh yeah! That's all I needed. I guess that battery's just dead, I guess. Try to do this without lighting my butt on fire. So this thing, when you buy it, is actually meant to go like on an SUV, and it's supposed to go straight across to your SUV or up and down a foot or so or whatever. But since these truck campers set so high and I had to go above the window, what I had to do was put like wedges behind it and then screw it on at an angle so it would match this angle. And then I just used up like 4 tubes of silicone on top just to make sure it doesn't leak, and I haven't had any leaks yet. At least any leaks that I'm aware of. I just love the sunsets around here. So one thing I was sent was this little 2-quart Dutch oven, which came at like the nick of time because my old Dutch oven got ruined on the last video. One of the last videos I ruined it. I was boiling some stew in it, and I had that fire just cranking, and I guess it broke loose the seasoning. And I noticed the day after that there was like black flakes all on that stew. So I've kind of decommissioned that Dutch oven until I can refinish it. So I'm so happy we got this. And this one's like perfect size for like one person. And holy cow, I'm not like crying. I'm not upset about this. The smoke is right in my eyeballs. Anyways, this dish that I want to make tonight, I've never had before, but I'm so excited because I think it's going to be really good. Just set that right there. We're going to use some little petite gold potatoes. So I'm just going to quarter up these little potatoes. Throw them in there. I got to hurry up so they don't burn. Trying to hurry. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these into big slices. And we'll just break those apart, throw them in there. I'm going to have a lot of onions in this. You don't have to put this many. But I feel like they're going to cook down. Now comes the special ingredient. A&W root beer. I'm going sugar free. I'm sure it'll probably work better with regular, but trying to cut off the sugar, you know. Just fill that thing up. This root beer. You can add a little bit more later, but we'll go ahead and start that boiling. So Jimmy sent this 4 Patriots, a 72-hour survival food kit. It's like a big MRE, has enough food for several days. And what I'm doing is I've been trying to put together like an emergency kit to go in the back of the Geo Tracker. Like I have a tote, then I'm gonna fill it with stuff like this. I'm gonna put a tent and just first aid kit, any kind of emergency gear I might need, and then enough stuff basically to stay the night if I have to stay the night somewhere. So thank you, Jimmy, for that. He also sent a really nice sharpening stone, and I've been sharpening up all my knives, and it just works amazing. Oh yeah, it's boiling. It smells good already. It's definitely getting colder. I had to go get my heavier coat on, and I got a stocking cap on now, and the stocking cap, same thing, came from a subscriber, Yvonne and Rick. Thank you very much. They sent a whole box of stuff, a couple 511 shirts and a patch and a couple hats. It's so awesome. I appreciate you guys. Like, I can use all this stuff, especially in these videos, because believe it or not, I'm not a rich YouTuber. My channel's small, and it probably will be small for a long time. So I'm just kind of making do with the gear that I have, and you guys sending this stuff just means so much, and I feel like it just helps out the channel, you know, not only for me but for you guys. Like, you guys get to see me using new gear and trying out new things that you guys might even be interested in buying one day. So I appreciate it, seriously. Prior to this channel, I worked so hard all the time, day in, day out, and I had everything I wanted. I thought I had a nice house that I liked. I had nice vehicles, just whatever, just stuff that I liked. And I had a, on paper, good relationship, but we were miserable. We just, nothing against her, we just weren't meant for each other. So we fought a lot. And that's why I bought this truck, because I was so miserable. I mean, I never knew what true happiness was back then. And I feel like a lot of people don't know what true happiness is. So because you don't know what it is, or because these people don't know what it is, that they don't even know what to aim for. They think it's just an impossible thing to get to, or that they think in their minds they are happy. But every single person I talk to now, I've noticed, if I haven't talked to a person for a while, they'll say something like, oh, I just bought a new car, or I just bought a new house, or I just went on vacation. When really what they mean to say is, I just financed a car, I just financed a house, and I just financed my vacation, is what they meant to say.
And I'm not down on them because I was exactly the same way. I thought if I would buy something bigger and better each time, I would become more and more happy. And this truck was the tipping point. I get people hating on me because they think, oh, it's easy for you to say to work less and enjoy life more. You got a freaking $80,000 truck, but that's not. That was a huge mistake. That truck. I mean, everything happens for a reason. I don't know if it was a mistake because if that truck didn't happen, I wouldn't be here. I mean, so I guess I could chalk it up to that. But I went and bought it. It was kind of on a whim, believe it or not. I was just driving by and I saw a GMC dealership and I was like, hey, let's go in there and take a look at some trucks. And then, of course, I buy the second one I test drive, which is this. The first one I test drove was identical twin to this, but it had more miles and a couple of different options. But I wanted this truck so bad, and or I thought at the time, and I didn't have any money. I had to take money out of places that I shouldn't have taken it from, and I put $2,000 down because that's what they told me I had to do because I had, believe it or not, bad credit, and my payments were $1,300 a month for the longest period of time you could get on a vehicle, which was like 7 or 8 years, and I didn't care. Because at the time, I was so happy. I was probably the happiest I ever was in my life at that moment. Just driving that truck. I was so excited. And then a couple months went by, and then I realized what I did to myself. The newness wore off, and then I pretty much just sealed the deal that I'm going to have to work nonstop 6-7 days a week for the next 7 or 8 years at least, just to get to the point where I pay this truck off, and then I was thinking to myself, like, then what if I buy anything in the meantime? Like, that's just going to keep stretching it out further and further. And I just didn't really see an end in sight. So that was kind of the tipping point. So I decided to end the relationship. We went our separate ways, put the house up for sale. I sold and gave away almost everything I owned. So the point of that backstory is I used to have everything I thought I wanted back then. Of course, it was all financed, but I thought I had everything I wanted. Then I gave it all up to start this channel, and I went into the biggest depression of my whole life. It was actually kind of sad because I didn't realize I was covering up all my pain and my depression with working. Like, that's a thing. You can just work so much that you aren't aware of what you're doing. I know it sounds dumb, but like, I guess I was hiding it really good. And then whenever I stopped working so much and I had a lot more free time and I was stuck by myself, then, man, I had a bad temper. I had just doom and gloom every day. Everything was horrible. Of course, I would put on a front on the videos, and you can go back to the beginning videos and you could see I was miserable, but I was trying to cover it up to make these pretend I'm happy videos, and I wasn't. It was miserable. So what I found out I had to do was to work on myself. And again, that's one of those impossible things that if you haven't done it, you think you'll just start tomorrow because it's just such a huge task. It's so horrible, it would take years and years, probably too much money, couldn't afford therapy. But it doesn't, in my opinion, require, or in my opinion, I don't think you have to have therapy. You just have to have that drive to learn about mental health, because that's a lot of it. I mean, you just kind of have to learn how the brain works in order to realize the thoughts that are running through your head. Yes, they seem so true at the time, but your mind will play tricks on you. I mean, we have stuff embedded in us from our ancestors, our survival mechanisms. And, we want to be with we want to be with a group of people. We want to be with everybody else. So if you sell everything and end up in a camper out in the woods, you're going to be lonely. And then you have to deal with your own problems. And there's a lot of stuff that people are scared of, including myself. I was the same. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to sit here and tell you guys anything. I'm just telling you my experiences. And if you can learn something from it, that's great. At that point, that was the lowest point in my life. I'd given away everything I had, so of course that kind of drove me into depression. And then I didn't have any money, and I didn't really have a foreseeable future. I mean, I was making videos, but I'd only get 200-300 views, and I was thinking, like, what did I do with my life? I totally threw it in the dumpster. And it still kind of bothers me now because I see people that are my age on social media that are kind of ahead, I guess if you want to call it that. Society says they're ahead. They have nicer vehicles, nicer house, family, whatever. But that doesn't mean that they're happy either. So I decided I'd start working on myself because at that point I thought, it's always something else. It was the person I was dating. It was the job let me down. Something. It was always an excuse. I always blamed everybody else, and I thought I was in the right because in my mind I was. I thought, and then I learned that I wasn't right at all. In fact, I was very wrong. 180, totally wrong as far as I could be wrong. I was wrong. I don't know. I'm rambling. Sorry. Hopefully you guys stuck it out this long. We'll talk about it maybe a little bit more later, but for right now, let's just get this food cooked.
Oh yeah, I think it's done now. Let's take this off the fire and get the skillet warming up. Let's let that set over there. All right. So I've been saving up some bacon grease. And we're going to put a whole bunch in there. So we're going to end up having some beef liver. So I'm going to be cooking some beef liver. I might lose you guys on this because I think most people find liver to be disgusting. But I think if you just cook it right, then that's the trick. Because in my opinion, I will take this beef liver over any kind of steak. Even pork steak. It's even better than pork steak. And little known fact, beef liver is so nutrition dense that you can actually kind of get sick from it if you eat too much. So I only have this like once a month. But it's so good for you. And it's just delicious. It tastes so good if you cook it right. And I think a lot of it is you got to have it on your cast iron, and you got to have the bacon grease is the trick. We're of course going to throw some onions in there as well, but we got to let this heat up, and then once that pan's nice and hot, then we'll start frying that up. Don't get me wrong, liver is just disgusting when it's in this form. But it's so good once it's cooked. Let's throw a couple on top. Give a little flavoring. There we go. Bury all the onions under everything. It should maybe cook down. It smells so good. Had to put a lid on it because it wasn't cooking. I think it's done though now. Yeah. All right, I'm ready to go eat. Let's go. All right. Let's get the lids back on. Keep that stuff warm. All right, let's eat. Finally. I think these potatoes could almost like pass as a dessert. They have like a vanilla flavor to them. Ugh. Like it doesn't taste like. I mean, I guess it tastes like root beer in a way because root beer is kind of a vanilla flavor, but oh. Mm. I sprinkle a little bit of salt on them. They're delicious. Mm. I'm definitely in my happy place now. Oh, so check this out. This coaster right here, I assume is handmade. And a subscriber sent this with like a whole little box, like a care package stuff. It even has her name on here, so I assume she made these, and they're just so cool. They've got like little specks of gold in them, and greens, and blacks, and all sorts of colors in there. I like that, and I should be using coasters because none of my tables are finished. I have my plate on a oven mitt, but now I have a coaster. And a couple other things. It was like a dog toy for Mason, and like a little pack of Uno Go, like travel size cards, which are perfect for this camper. They don't take up a lot of room. Not that cards take up a whole lot of room, anyways, but just a cool little thing to have in case I run into somebody. I love playing Uno, so just one of those things is just nice to have in case that time comes up. Need a little game to play. Thank you, Ann. I'm as happy as can be right now.
Buddy, you look pretty cozy. You ready for bed? Yeah. It's time for bed. I think Mason's done for the day anyways. We went on a little WALK earlier, and maybe in the morning we'll do his little favorite RUN, if you know what I'm saying. He says, what'd you spell out? I know what you spelled out. Yeah. Anyways, I guess I'll see you guys first thing in the morning. Good night.
About 2 months ago, something like that, and so she's like, okay, you're on pickup duty. Yes, ma'am. What time do I need to be there? Your first one's at 2:45. Okay, got it. Well, you need to know something about my kids. Bailey, who's 12.
What's up, buddy? You waiting on something? What? Just tell me what you want. You want to go for a run? Yeah, you want to go for a run? Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Gotta stop at every bush. You getting all excited? You ready? Okay, we're going back. Come on. Hey. Come on. Oh. Oh, you gonna jump over these too? Come on. Mason. Woo. I'm gonna beat you to the truck. Oh, I'm gonna beat you. I win. Whew. Hey, bub.
Well, he just loves going on those runs in the morning. He's like a completely different dog after one of those runs. You got stuff in your tail, bud. Alright, you gotta step back. Gotta step back. Alright, you want some more lovin's, huh? Alright. I always tell the groomer to cut his tail like way back, but they never do. And all he does is just collect all sorts of stuff, huh? Alright, go lay down. Alright, well, I'll do one. I'll probably scare you. You're gonna knock the camera over, bud. I have like loving this axe or this hatchet. Buddy. Ay, ay, ay. He just keeps following me and then like wrapping the cord around the camera. Here, just come sit up here by me. Here I am trying to videotape lighting this fire, and then this is what I get right here. Oh, buddy. Oh, bud. Oh, yeah. Yawn. This is all I want right here. I don't want anything else. Alright, so even though I have a huge bag of dryer lint, I want to see the smallest amount that I can use. So I'm going to try this size. This is quite a bit smaller than what I was using yesterday. I think I'm going to spread it out a little bit. Set it right there. It's a little breezy, so I don't know if that's going to affect it. But I do have all my little shavings right here. So just have to get them thrown on there really fast. Oop. There we go. Yeah, it's lit now. It's lit now. Get it on there. Get some little thin shavings on there. That's already caught some of the wood. Look at there. That was just a little tiny bit. I'm going to use even less than that next time, I think. Look at it. We got fire. We're going to try some of the Black Rifle Coffee Company Beyond Black coffee. I don't know if you can see that. Thank you, Ken, for sending that. Gotta get some water boiling. I've been looking forward to drinking some of this. I've been working on my old can of Folgers for a while because I wanted to wait until I made this video. I gotta get some water on here. Oh, and Brian,
Thank you. Brian sent a set of collapsible dog bowls. I love these things. I like to throw one in like the door of my truck, so whenever we're driving around, if he's thirsty, I can just pop it open and give him some water. Plus, of course, they pack away very small. Cut me up a couple medium-sized pieces. Then they just burn up more into like the size of coals that I want. I've got a few on there already. And hopefully by the time those kind of burn out, then these will be ready. And then I'll just keep stacking those on. Because I'm going to cook breakfast out here as well. I normally have always liked camping like up in the mountains and in the forest. And I never really wanted to come down here to the desert. I don't know why. I guess I just figured what is there to look at or something. I don't know what I was figuring. But this year I've camped down in the desert more than ever, I think. And I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's different, but I just love it so much. I just like that there is nothing out here. I like that I can see a far distance. I can see like if a coyote starts running up this direction or, whatever. It feels safe and it feels just relaxing out here, I guess, would be the right words. Except for the hawks flying by, huh, buddy? All right. Got some the Black Rifle coffee in there. I've always wanted to try this stuff, but it's always kind of out of my price range. I buy a cheap coffee. So I'm curious what it tastes like. Got some in there. And the French press. That's heating up. Eventually I need to get one of these that don't have plastic on them because I like to cook over the fire and eventually something here is going to melt. So far it's not too bad though. Especially with this little stove, everything likes to just stay right under the pot, just like a stove in your house would be. All right, that's done enough. All right, put this lid on. And then we'll let that set for a few minutes. So we're gonna get this cast iron skillet warming up. We're gonna cook some javelina breakfast sausage. And then I'm also gonna cook some eggs after that, but we'll cook this up first. Oh man, that smells good. Gonna do this without touching it. Here we go. So for anybody that is unaware, that didn't see last week's video, a javelina is a wild pig that's here in Arizona. I'll put a picture here up on the screen. Whew, that's hot. But man, that's good. That's good coffee. I like it. A lot better than what I normally drink. Thank you. I'll call that done, I think. Got a few crunchy bits in there. That's all right though. Cover that up. Put a
little bit more butter in there. See if we can get some of that sticky, burnt on stuff to release. Oh yeah. Put a little slap your mama on it. Cajun seasoning. A mixture of the Cajun seasoning and then the little bits of javelina sausage in there. It smells so good. Oh. Yeah. All right. That looks delicious. There's the hawk right there. Right there. Sitting on top of that little tree. He's just waiting. Where'd he go? Oh, there he goes. Looking for mice. Move over here into the shade a little bit. Another hour or so, that sun will be back far enough to where the awning will block it, but for right now, man, it's hot over there. So one way to tell that people are faking it around you is actions just speak miles more than words. I mean, they might tell you that they're doing okay or they're doing fine or great or whatever words they use. But, I mean, I don't know. You've probably noticed the world right now. Well, I haven't been all over the world, but at least where I'm at, it just seems like people in general are just meaner than ever. Spiteful and mean. Like I hold the door open for them to go into the store. I get a big smile on my face, and they just walk past me like I'm just a dirtbag holding the door open for them, and they don't say thanks or nothing, you know. I might run into somebody's path at an intersection, like between aisles at a grocery store, stick my cart out because I want to, come around to the next aisle, and then all of a sudden, oh my, I just totally had to make a person slow down for a second. Heaven forbid. And they look at me like they want to unalive me, since I'm not allowed to say that word. And I don't get it. I mean, people drive down the road and it's like they don't care about your life whatsoever. They're worried about whatever they're texting on their phone and wherever they're going. They don't care about you. And it really upsets me. But the worst part is I used to beat myself up for being upset at these people. Like, I wish that I could just go out into the public and like not stress about it, just kind of go about my day. But man, I get these interactions with people and it just aggravates me sometimes. I mean, not everybody, of course, but what I'm saying is like, just look at people's actions. But I'm getting to the point to where I'm realizing it's okay to be like righteously upset about the injustice in the world. I mean, it's okay. Which, for me, this is a little off the topic, but for me, it helps me just to relax and not be so uptight and stressed about it, because I feel like I try to do good and then everybody around me is doing horrible. Not everybody, but you get what I'm saying. And it just upsets me, I feel like there's no rules anymore in the world, and I'm the only one left following them, if you know what I mean. But I don't know. Just
just see what these people are doing. If they're mean but they say they're happy, they're not happy. You'll know when a genuinely happy person is genuinely happy. They won't even tell you, but you'll know it. You'll just see it from a mile away. And I don't really know what the whole point of this whole video was, but I guess some of it was for me to vent, and some was just to see if anybody else out there is going through the same stuff, you know? I mean, I don't know. It was a long journey to get to where I'm at, to be happy with my life, and I know I will be continuing this journey through the rest of my life. But that's okay, because everything I learn sticks with me for the rest of my life, and just snowballs or compiles. I don't know, snowballs together. It gets better and better, and my life just gets better and better every day. And all I want is for some people to like maybe step back and realize that they're not only affecting their own life, but they're affecting everybody around them as well. Not that most people would care, but I just think that being happy has nothing to do with anything that you own. You just really gotta at least for me, I had just learned as much as I could about mental health. I listened to podcasts and YouTube videos and read a few books, not a lot, a couple audio books, things like that. And it's just something that has always piqued my interest. And I've noticed that the more I dig into it, the happier I become, because I don't know, like for instance, beating myself up over being upset at these other people. Like I want to go out and just be in a good mood and not let these people affect my mood. And then as soon as somebody does, it just swings around, and then I beat myself up for being upset at this person, and then it just ruins my day. But like I said before, I learned that it's okay to be upset about stuff like that. When you're upset at the fact that people aren't doing the right thing, it's okay. And because I'm not beating myself up anymore, it just releases so much stress. So I guess that's just one example. And there's just thousands and thousands of other examples of just what learning about mental health will help you be happier in the future. I don't know. I'm just rambling. I don't have a degree or anything. Don't listen to me, I guess. But I'm just curious if anybody else out there has kind of been going through the same journey in their life, you know? Well, now my breakfast is cold. I'm going to go ahead and finish her up, and then I'll get back with you guys. Yeah, buddy. Tired, huh? Well, somehow Mason and I just wasted most of the day. I went in and laid down to edit, well, and then somehow it's like 4:30 right now. Like every time I let him out, he wants to walk down here, and for no other reason than he's got a bush over here that he peed on, so he's got to go remark it every time. The bush is still quite a ways down, but that's where he'll go, and then after we're done peeing on that, then he'll come back. To be a dog, right? That's all you got to worry about. Just keep remarking your territory. What do you smell? You smell somebody else come in your territory? Yeah, it's all right. We'll move on. All right. Look, you're going the wrong way, but look, this is the way we go right here. We cross right here. I was wondering where he was going, and then we cut across here, and I recognized this little like cut right here that coming out of this creek. And then I looked up and realized this is where we camped before. We camped here, I don't know if it was last week or the week prior. You knew where you were going, huh? I didn't even know where we were going. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we'll mark it. We're good. Ready to go back? Come on. Let's go back. Let's go back. Camp way over there. Sun's going down. You see the mountains are starting to turn kind of a rosy gold color. See the yellow in the sky. Temperature started dropping, so I got a fire going. Feels nice. I got somebody right here all cuddled in and warming his butt up. Well, I guess you guys got a little extra bonus footage. I was gonna end it after breakfast, and then I fell asleep and just wanted to record a little bit more when I woke up, so there you go. If anybody wants to help support the channel, there's all sorts of stuff down below in the description, like affiliate links and Patreon and merch links and Amazon wish list, which will end up being like camping gear you'll see on these videos. And of course, you get a shout out on the videos. Anyways, I guess I'm just gonna end it, and just remember, life's short, so start living. We'll see you next time. Bye.